जनाब ममदारी जी, तेलंगाना सरकार का गृह मंत्री, श्री सतीश रेड्डी जी, चेयरमैन DRDO, सेक्रेटरी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, श्री MSR प्रसाद, डायरेक्टर जनरल मिसाइल एंड स्ट्रेटेजिक सिस्टम्स, heads of various prestigious institutions which are functioning here, and who are all working hard by giving their heart and soul for the betterment of the nation. And all scientists who are all working here in DRDO, and my dear sisters and brothers, I am really very happy to be here, to meet you all, greet you all, talk to you all, and spend some time with you all today as the Vice President of India. It's really great pleasure not only to meet you all, to see what all you people have been doing, and hear the tremendous progress you and your organizations are making for the sake of the country. And also it's an opportunity to meet all of you at one place and interact with you. I express a desire to your chairman, Sri Satish Reddy. Of course, he has been suggesting to me to visit these laboratories, prestigious laboratories, and I told him that I am here for this Sankranti period, this side of the country. So I will make this occasion to make a visit. Accordingly, today's program has been planned. I am very much impressed by the progress that these laboratories have been making. And then, when I hear from your chairman, with all authority and dignity, that we have become self-reliant in our missile technology and field, I feel reassured about security of our country, prestige of our country, and my compliments to all of you for the great work and contribution you have made. Many of you have made a mark with your contributions in the ever-challenging field of defense, science and technology. It is also a matter of pride for me to address you all from this campus. It's a great education place, I must tell you, for me, in this particular subject. And I feel that everyone is a student and must be a student throughout his or her life. Evolution is happening like a revolution in various fields. And you must update your knowledge right from the constitutional heads of the country to the administrative heads of the country to the people's representatives. They must all really get themselves educated what is happening, particularly in the field of science and defense technology. Then land, land, land. This is what I advise to all people. This is a core facility of the entire missile program. And I saw many of you people who are heading different wings, who are instrumental in designing, visualizing, designing, developing. I could see the brightness because of the confidence you people have gained. And the great work you are doing, satisfaction comes from two things. One is physical. The other is whatever we have achieved. And if it is serving the purpose, and if it is serving the society at large, and if it is serving the nation, that is the best ever satisfaction. And then of course serving the people through service, different service, also gives satisfaction. That is a different satisfaction. Fulfilling the promises made, that is another satisfaction for the politicians or the administrators and all. My dear friends, as you are all aware, India's journey of missile technology development has started with the establishment of these prestigious DRDL labs in 1961, when the need was felt to develop indigenous missiles. I was feeling very elated, one after another. Some of you are explaining, sir, this is totally indigenous. Sir, this is 66% indigenous. This is so much. So that means we are moving towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. That is the most satisfying thing to hear from all of you. The aim of developing a comprehensive range of indigenous missiles for all the three defense forces. The scientists and technologists of DRDO have started the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, IGMDP. The IGMDP was successfully led by one of the greatest sons of this great country, former President Dr. Abdul Kalam, and he worked here to guide this program. And recently, I had the honor to release a book on Dr. Kalam in Chennai, titled Abdul Kalam Dinavai Kadarakul Maranamille. That means Abdul Kalam, Immortal Memories. Memories, they never die. He is a great man who made a great contribution. Not a politician, but being the constitutional head of the country and also being a great scientist and an educator who has been trying to educate the people, particularly younger generation, till his last breath. He was addressing the students at Shillong. So this book which I have released was written by Dr. APJM Najima Marikayar, niece of Dr. Kalam, and the well-known space scientist Dr. O.S. Rajan. And it was written in Tamil. This is what impressed me more, because I feel our education, our knowledge, our information with confirmation must be transmitted into our children, to minds of the children, in their own language. It's very easy to understand, think, and develop further thoughts. Mother tongue, the one has to be familiar. And all the books, and including research papers. I go a step further. including research papers, and also the proceedings of Parliament. Of course, I took initiative. Now you can speak in any of the 22 languages in Rajya Sabha. Of course, by giving little advance notice. The proceedings in the highest echelon of judiciary, the Supreme Court and High Court, and also various research institutions, we must move towards introducing the mother tongue, teaching the mother tongue, subjects in mother tongue. That do not mean we should not read English. We should first mother tongue, then brother tongue, your neighbor states, and then go to the other tongue. As many languages as possible. English is also useful that. That's why, in order to impress the youngsters, the students and all, I always say mother tongue is like your eyesight. The other language is like your spectacles. If you have eyesight, then spectacles will be useful. If you don't have eyesight, no sight. Even if you wear Ray-Ban glasses, Zuban se kuch aayega. So, that is one point, of course, which I want to stress, and I have been stressing everywhere, wherever I go. Second point is that the world is moving faster. Technology, new innovations. Along with that, new challenges. Climate change has become real. Nature's fury, because we are misbehaving with nature. That also is evident. We are all seeing, including the present pandemic. Lifestyle changes. And also some people, some countries developing evil designs for Adipatya. They want to show Adipatya. Is Adipatya over a subject, I can understand. Yes. You are an expert. You are number one. Nothing wrong in aiming. And aiming to develop your country. Development for what? Wealth for what? To create happiness for the people. That is the ultimate aim of science and research. And here, in the particular defense area, the research is for security of the nation. And if the nation is secure, and if there will be peace, and peace is prerequisite for progress. If you have tension, you cannot pay attention. So for that also, security is very important. With some neighbors like ours, who are having different designs and all, we must be well prepared to protect ourselves and focus our attention on the welfare and development of the people. And we are a nation who believe in the theory of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Sarve Janas Sukhino Bhavantu. That is our philosophy given by our forefathers, age-old tradition. That is our culture and heritage. We must preserve it, so we have no intention to attack anybody. All these missiles, the other developments, the tanks and the bombs, and all other things are to protect ourselves. Protect, so that we can pay our attention to protect the interest of the people, to make them comfortable and happy. Mr. Kalam was such a great man, but whenever I met him, I was struck by his simplicity, the depth of his knowledge, and his deep desire to make India a superpower. The success of IGMDP program under his astute leadership laid the foundation of India's self-reliance in strategic defense technologies. Attaining self-reliance in defense sector is not only of critical or strategic importance for the country, but as I said, is also essential in terms of national pride. I am glad to note the scientists of the missile cluster of the DRDO Institute to maintain the legacy of Dr. Kalam. And as he said, earlier, Avinash ji, Saraswat ji, after him. And then you are fortunate to have the able guidance of a person with dedication and determination. Dr. Satish Reddy, 18 I know him since his childhood, and I have been watching him total his dedication totally to the subject and to the research. That should be the attitude of everyone. We have taken a mission, and we must develop passion for this mission. We should not do any omission or give any remission. Continue with the passion. That should be the mission of scientists. Then you will be able to achieve your aim. Some of the recent missiles which have been tested successfully, as was shown to me, the Crossom Smart, MPATGM anti-satellite missile and a hypersonic technology demonstrator. I have been informed that despite the challenges of lockdown and the threat of COVID-19 pandemic, the scientists have worked hard to meet important milestones of the missile development programs and have successfully undertaken the development trials of a quick reaction surface-to-air missile. The MRSAM medium-range surface-to-air missile, smart anti-airfield weapon, and supersonic missile-assisted release of torpedo, and the man-portable anti-tank guided missile, the new generation anti-radiation missile using passive homing head seeker, program-controlled flight trials of Hirina, user-assisted trials of Nag, flight trials of BrahMos, using indigenous booster, land version, and technology demonstration of hypersonic cruise flight for 20-second duration of HSTDV. All these are commendable, I say commendable achievements in the wake of the challenges posed by this pandemic. And I am also impressed by our Defence Ministry department for one more thing, that you try to give all indigenous names. Because of the colonial rule and colonial mindset, some of us developed a fascination for the West. Nothing wrong in knowing the best, but we have our own history, our own heritage, our own achievements. We must feel proud, and we must teach our children to make them to feel proud, and then know the indigenous culture, heritage, including its language. I am very happy when I hear the names of Nag, Airavata, Astra, Shastra, Brahmostra, BrahMos. All these are, the very words are inspiring. My dear sisters and brothers, India and the rest of the world faced an unprecedented disruption to normal activities following the outbreak of the pandemic. Life came to a virtual halt, and people from all sections, particularly the poor, lower middle class, were badly affected by the pandemic. However, the government of India took quick action to minimize the adverse effect of the pandemic. With the support of the people, we have been able to contain the spread of the novel coronavirus in our country. Scientists too raised awareness time and came up with vaccine in record time. We must really appreciate their great efforts. And as a result, lakhs of people are getting vaccinated. I am hopeful that very soon vaccine will reach every citizen of India and the pandemic will end. India's fight against this pandemic tells a successful story of containing the virus. The valiant heroes of this fight are people of India, security forces, police officers, medical fraternity, doctors, nurses, paramedical staff, scientists and technologists, and providers of essential commodities and services, all of whom rose to the occasion and supported the national cause wholeheartedly despite facing the risk of getting infected. Undoubtedly, even the sanitation workers, they did not bother about their well-being. Because they worked, we are safe. Undoubtedly, the pandemic has severely affected the economy and livelihoods of people. At the same time, it offered us an opportunity to establish our own strength and capabilities. The government, the scientists, the engineers, the innovators, the commercial and industrial enterprise took up the challenge and came up with excellent innovative products, personal protection equipment, and scaled up the healthcare system. All these efforts illustrate our inner strength. They are in different fields and we are in the direction of making India Atmanirbhar. That is evident. Therefore, it is no surprise that we are exporting indigenous vaccine to other countries. See, the other day, I saw the Brazil president who received our consignment of our vaccine. He sent a message to Prime Minister thanking him, thanking the country, and in the message he has put a picture of Hanuman carrying Sanjeevan. That is it. So actually like Sanjeevan, this is how he describes. And we sometimes hesitate, feel shy to quote, to say, to talk about our past. We must definitely plan for the future, think about the future, but should not forget our past. That has to be remembered by one and all. While saluting all these barriers, I would also like to salute and mention the contribution made by our farmers, the great contribution they made. In spite of the pandemic, there is no decrease in production of food grains. On the other hand, there is an increase. There is only one sector which has shown. I will give the figures now. I am very happy to note that the DRDO, despite being primarily engaged in the strategic defense research and development, gave its wholehearted support to the national cause of fighting against the corona pandemic. During the lockdown itself, DRDO scientists worked hard to provide many technology solutions such as equipment for containment of the virus, protective equipment and life-saving equipment. It's commendable that DRDO employees enthusiastically donated for the establishment of 1,000-bed Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel COVID Hospital in Delhi. The establishment of a 1,000-bed hospital in just for a little more days illustrate the kind of capabilities of DRDO and how quickly it can respond to war-like situations. I would like DRDO to display the same spirit of surmounting every technological challenge it faces. I am also glad to note the scientists of missile clusters have taken India very close to self-reliance in missile technology with their hard work, dedication and perseverance. As Satish Reddy said, we are self-reliant, total confidence. I am told that the Akash missile system has recently been put into the negative list of items for import by the Ministry of Defence. It means that India is now self-reliant in this kind of missile system, and so the armed forces need not import similar missile systems. This is a commendable achievement by DRDO in view of the fact that India has signed Missile Technology Control Regime, MTCR, only in 2018, which means that India did not have access to high-end missile technology developed by the developed countries and had to face limitations in having partnership with other countries in the area of missile technology. DRDO quite appropriately termed the crisis it faced during the MTCR into an opportunity in developing a range of indigenous missile systems. India is now trying to shift its status from being one of the largest importers of defense products to one of the top exporters of defense items. The defense technology ecosystem of India has given confidence to the government to ban the import of 101 weapons, platforms and equipment in the next 5 years. The government has also set up a target of achieving defense export worth rupees 35,000 crore in the next 4 years. Despite the laudable efforts of scientists and technologists of DRDO in developing self-reliant defense technologies, there is still ample opportunity for increasing India's defense exports, which still remain very low despite the recent increase by 7 times. This indicates that there is a lot of scope in developing defense technologies of export value. Scientists and technologists are required to not only identify the futuristic defense needs of the country, but also the technologies that can be exported. Self-reliant technologies give boost to the local industry, generate the employment opportunities, and add valuable foreign exchange. Thus, self-reliant technologies play a critical role in supporting the economy and making the nation prosperous. The Prime Minister Sri Narendra Bhai Modi's call for Atmanirbhar Bharat and Vocal for Local has given a new impetus to the concept of self-reliance. In this scenario, it is necessary for DRDO to redefine its focus on strategic defense technologies and outsource activities which can be carried out by capable private sector participants. Who is private? They are also public. Slowly, we must develop private-public partnership. The technological landscape of human technology is also changing very fast. The futuristic military systems will heavily depend on the rapidly evolving fields of artificial intelligence, made a presentation before, quantum technologies, asymmetric technologies, and smart material. I am happy to note that the DRDO has recently set up 8 advanced technology centers to carry out research on futuristic military applications, and young scientist laboratories have already been set up for working on the futuristic technologies. I am sure that the scientists and technologists of DRDO, with their caliber and commitment, will make India so self-reliant that Atmanirbhar Bharat will attain position where the world will be Bharat par Nirbhar. I am also happy to see some of the women scientists here. Women needs to be encouraged in the field of science and technology. They can pay undivided attention. They have more peace in mind. And if they work hard, they can create peace for others also. So we should see to it, women who are 50% of the population, they are given encouragement. Friends, I am happy to tell you and share with you, women's education was an area of concern, still of course. But the trends that are available, as the Vice President, I go around the country and visit universities, IITs, IITs, IIMs, IESRs, scientific labs, research labs, right from Jammu to Andaman, to Arunachal, to Andhra Pradesh, everywhere, whatever is there, I try to go to study, to understand, to encourage, to pat them and think that for their achievements and all. This gives them more and more strength and also gives me more and more knowledge. So I go for convocations to award degrees, gold medals. You know, as a vice president, you can't expect vice president to give 1,000 doctorates or degrees. So they make an arrangement. The toppers, the gold medals are given by the vice president or president or vice president. And then others are given by the governor or by the chancellors and all. That's the practice. And to my happiness, toppers, gold medalists, in every institution almost, 65% are women, girls. That is a very positive, healthy trend for the country, which needs to be encouraged further. You can't have reservation for women in science and research and technology and all, but giving encouragement. If you give encouragement, they will excel. Our tradition, Gargi, Maitreyi, they were there in the forefront. They used to come and guide the society. Those days, earlier we were guided with that wrong notion, Mahila, padke karna kya hai? That used to be the attitude. But the Indian society and our civilization always used to give respect to women. You see the rivers of country, Ganga, Yamuna, Kaveri, Brahmaputra, Narmada, Tapati, they all names women. To make it very simple, even the name of the country, we call it as motherland, not father's land. Motherland. Because that is the importance that the Indian society used to give to women. So we must take it further, and then, my dear young friends and scientists and seniors who are all heading the organization, my compliments to all of you. As I told you, I am becoming more and more confident about the capability of our nation through you people. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.